And now the answers to the previous episode's trivia questions. Number 1. What are the names of Luke's aunt and uncle? Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen Mars. Number 2. What language did Luke's aunt want the new droids to speak? Bocce. And number 3. Who did Greedo work for? Jabba the Hutt. Hello and welcome to A Star Wars Fan Reads. I'm going to read issue number 2 of the newsletter from the official Star Wars Fan Club. But first, I want to show you another action figure that I got, R2-D2. I'm so excited. I love these toys. Okay, so in issue number 2, they mention that... Oh, glasses. In issue number 2, they mentioned that Star Wars sweeps the Oscars. It says, the 50th annual presentation of the Academy Awards was held on the 3rd of April, 1978 at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion in Los Angeles, California. Millions of people all over the world watched as Star Wars was announced the winner of 7 Oscars. Wow! Star Wars received Academy Awards in the following categories. Special Achievement Award for the creation of alien creatures and robot voices, Benjamin Burt Jr. They were amazing. Best Achievement in Sound, yep, Don McDougall, Raid West, Bob Minkler, and Derek Ball. They totally deserved it, totally. Best Achievement in Visual Effects, John Steer. Oh my god. The visual effects are like the best I've ever seen. It's amazing. It's John Steers, John Dykstra, Richard Edlin, Grant McCune, and Robert Blaylock. Best Achievement in Art Direction, John Barry, Norman Reynolds, and Leslie Dilley. And Set Decoration, Roger Christian. Ooh, the sets were amazing too. The whole movie is awesome. Best Achievement, oh, I said that already. Best Achievement in Costume Design, John Molo. Totally deserved. Best Original Score, John Williams. That music, it's like the best music ever. I mean, that's the beginning, the opening crawl music. Wow, that's just boom. It's just right there. And Best Achievement in Editing, Paul Hirsch, Marcia Lucas, and Richard Chew. Star Wars was also nominated for Academy Awards in 4 other categories. Best Supporting Actor, Alec Guinness. He should have won that. Best Original Screenplay, George Lucas. He should have gotten it. Best Director, George Lucas. Yeah, should have gotten it. And Best Picture, hello. Wait, I don't think they did that right there. Star Wars was also nominated for Academy Awards in 4 other categories. Best Supporting Actor, Sir Alec Guinness. He totally should have gotten that. Best Original Screenplay, George Lucas. Hello. I gotta keep doing that. Star Wars was also nominated for Academy Awards in 4 other categories. Best Supporting Actor, Sir Alec Guinness. He totally should have gotten that. Best Original Screenplay, George Lucas. I don't know why he didn't win. Best Director, George Lucas. Yes. And the best picture. Star Wars is like the best picture in 1977. There was no other movie better than Star Wars. I don't know why it didn't win. Ugh, the Academy Awards. Sometimes I think it's rigged. All right, what else is in this wonderful newsletter from the fan club? Let's see. Between the script and the projector. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to fold this over. It'd be easier to hold. There we go. Between the script and the projector. It took a good deal of work to transform George Lucas's basic concept of Star Wars to the final form you see on the motion picture screen. Between the time a film script is completed and when the movie is first shown in theaters, many changes occur. Even on simple pictures, and Star Wars is anything but simple. The first step after completing the basic script concept was to visualize the new world. George Lucas contacted Colin Cantwell, who had worked on 2001: A Space Odyssey, to design the initial spacecraft models. Alex Tavouleris started preliminary storyboard sketches from the early script. Production illustrator Ralph McQuarrie began to visualize the basic ideas of characters, costumes, props, and scenery. Some of the art for Ralph McQuarrie is amazing looking. Over a period of time, McQuarrie went from simple sketches and line drawings to a handsome series of production paintings which set a visual tone for the picture. While this was being done, producer Gary Kurtz worked out a budget and logistical plan for the complex job of filming on 3 continents. For the desert planet of Tatooine, all American, North African, and Middle Eastern deserts were researched and explored. In southern Tunisia, on the edge of the Sahara Desert, and the ideal location was found. A dry, arid landscape with limitless horizons filled with bizarre architecture. It was decided that the interiors would be photographed in London, England, because of the close proximity to North Africa and because of the availability of technical people at the EMI Elstree studios. It was the only studio in England or America that could provide 9 large stages simultaneously and allow the company complete freedom to handpick its own personnel. Oh wow, I didn't know that. The script called for a large number of miniature and optical effects. In June of 1975, George Lucas and Gary Kurtz signed John Dykstra to supervise the photographic special effects. Special effects are so cool looking. No commercial facility had the equipment or the time to accomplish what Star Wars required, so Dykstra worked out the plans for a complete in-house effects shop. Appropriately named Industrial Light and Magic. Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's appropriately named Industrial Light and Magic Corporation. The shop was set up in a warehouse in Los Angeles. Employing as many as 75 people and in post-production working in 2 full shifts, ILM executed the 360 separate special effects shots in the film. Altogether, film enhancements and special effects are visible for half of the running time of Star Wars. The various departments at ILM included a carpentry shop and a machine shop. The machine shop had to modify the special camera editing, animation, and projection equipment required for the special effects. A model shop was built to construct the prototype models of the various space and land vehicles. So cool. I love this. In March of 1976, a film production unit and cast descended on Tozeur, a small, quiet oasis town in southern Tunisia, where North Africa and Arabia meet and the Sahara Desert begins. The construction crew worked for 8 weeks, turning the desert and towns into another planet. Filming began on a salt lake of the, I don't know how to say this word, Chott El Dirid? Sorry. It's not too far from Tozeur. Tozeur is spelled T-O-Z-E-U-R. Other locations included the Tunisian desert, a few miles outside of Nefta, and the rocky grandeur of a great volcanic canyon outside of Tozeur. During the first week of filming, A sandstorm hit and the entire crew had to wear specially supplied goggles. The cameras had to be rigorously cleaned out every evening after the day's shooting. Wow, that must have been very frustrating and annoying. They had to do that to be usable for the next day. The cast and crew moved to I don't know why I'm having trouble saying this word. Matmata, one of the most unusual towns in the world. Matmata is largely inhabited by troglodytes, people who make their homes in caves cut from the sides of crater-like holes in the ground. These underground homes evolved as means of protection from sandstorms and the weather, which is scorching hot in summer and bitterly cold in the winter. Interior sequences of Luke Skywalker's home were filmed in the depths of the Hotel Sidi Driss, which is typical of the local Matmata dwellings. These dwellings consist of a central open hole surrounded by cave-like rooms gouged out of the earth. Following 2.5 weeks of filming in Tunisia, the Star Wars cast and crew moved to the EMI Elstree studios just outside of London. It took all 9 sound stages to house production designer John Barry's 30 sets of planets, spaceships, caves, control rooms, the cantina, and the vast network of sinister corridors of the Death Star. For the Rebel hangar sequence, filled with a squadron of X-Wing and Y-Wing fighters, the set was so enormous it had to be filmed on the largest soundstage in Europe. This was located at Shepperton Studios in Middlesex, England, 20 miles from the EMI Elstree studios. The scenes with the actors took 14.5 weeks to film in England. For the post-production work, George Lucas and Gary Kurtz worked out of Industrial Light and Magic in Los Angeles, where the special effects were completed. The editing was done in San Francisco. Additional Tatooine desert footage was photographed in California's Death Valley. Death Valley? Oh my gosh, I totally need to visit. I gotta look for that set. The Yavin jungle sequence was filmed in the Mayan ruins of Tikal National Park in Guatemala. Composer John Williams spent a year preparing his ideas for the score, which again is amazing. During March of 1977, he conducted the 87-piece London Symphony Orchestra in a series of 14 sessions to record the 90 minutes of original music. Original sound effects for the various alien languages, vehicles, robots, and weapons were created by the genius Ben Burtt, in charge of special dialogue and sound effects for Star Wars. The final elaborate stereo soundtrack was mixed at the Samuel Goldwyn Studios in Hollywood. They used the Dolby system for extraneous noise reduction to provide the ultimate in motion picture high fidelity in the theater. After editing, sound, and publicity were completed, Star Wars was released to theaters all over the world, and we are better for it. Aren't we? Ah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty amazing information. What else? Oh my gosh, there's more information about the next Star Wars movie. On February 23rd, it was announced that Star Wars Corporation will begin production on the sequel to Star Wars this summer. Oh my god, that's so cool. The Idol... I think I'm getting the vapors. I'm so excited. The title has not been selected yet, but it will not be Star Wars 2. What could the title be? George Lucas's company, Lucasfilm Limited, will finance a production currently budgeted for $10 million, with 20th Century Fox acting as distributor. Based on the second of 12 stories in George Lucas's Adventures of Luke Skywalker series, the first draft of the screenplay was written by Lee Brackett. Miss Brackett had extensive credits in both motion pictures and science fiction, having written the script for such films as The Big Sleep with Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall, Rio Bravo, Hitari, and The Long Goodbye, and such science fiction books as The Sword of Rhiannon, The Ginger Star, Starman of Lidris, and The Long Tomorrow. The new film will be directed by Irving Kershner. I hope he's good. Who has just completed the John Peters production Eyes. Mr. Kirshner's directorial credits also include The Flim Flam Man, A Fine Madness, Loving, The Return of a Man Called Horace, and the highly acclaimed TV film Raid on Entebbe, and episodes of the TV programs A Rebel and Naked City. I haven't seen any of those movies. This is going to be a huge mistake. I don't know anything about this guy. Why did they do that? Why didn't they just let George Lucas direct the movie? God, why did they have to ruin everything? Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher have been signed to continue their roles as Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. Yes! So cool! That's awesome. Oh, well, I don't know about this Irvin Kershner guy. Let's hope he's good and he doesn't ruin the next Star Wars movie. Well, that was issue number 2 of the official Star Wars Fan Club newsletter. Next, I will read issue number 3. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.